everybody. How are you? Good afternoon from Nigeria. And today we are discussing one of the trending topical matters in Nigeria. Well, a lot of you are already very familiar with the candidates, you know. After the controversial debates, they excluded some aspirants and included some. And then even those that were included did not show up. One didn't show up at all, the other one showed up, but they excused it on the account that the first person did not come. Well, another person by way of conspiracy was not included. So after that one was blown away by the wind of reality or events, and then other platforms began to emerge, such as the candidates, which is one of the platforms we're talking about, on the NTA by Kadaria Ahmed, if I'm correct by the name. Yeah. And then we have seen so far outing of some of the candidates. You have seen that of President Muhammadu Buhari, you've seen that of Omoyele Sowore, and we've seen that of Atiku Abubakar of the PDP. Well, after every of these candidates went on the Kadaria show, it turns out that there was always trending discussions about them the following day. After Sowore went, people began to say, well, we didn't see this guy at the debate, but somehow he's busting brain, you know. And some other people felt like it's not just about auditory prowess, Joe. You can't win election. Well, that's what went, and only last night, Atiku Abubakar and his running mate of the PDP, Peter Obi, were on the show, the candidates. Mixed reactions, controversy, some praise singers, and some people criticizing it altogether. Well, it turns out that some are saying it was a nice outing altogether, others are saying, forget it was bobo. Well, whether it was bobo or not, we are here today to analyze, to dissect the outing of Atiku. Well, as I speak with you right now, live in the studio, I have two guests. To my left, okay, left to right, media tagging. To my left is Mr. Dari Akini. Let me remove the Mr. Dari Akini. Comrade. Yeah. Okay, I have Comrade Dari Akini, who is one of the ardent supporters of Atiku Abubakar. Am I correct?
Very right.
Okay, good. And to my right is Adeyeye Olorunfemi, who is supporting Omoyele Sowore, as you can see already on his chest. See, African Action Congress. These are Take It Back people. Well, let's get on the show, no time. Well, what we are going to be discussing is the outing of both candidates, Omoyele Sowore and Atiku Abubakar. But let me try to moderate this. And I'm sitting in the middle of them. My name is Shegun Olu. I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm sitting in between the two of them to ensure that if they throw punch, I'll be the person to absorb. But I want to be sure that the two of them are gentlemanly. Nothing of such going on. They will be very civil. Do you assure us?
Of course, you know
so
you know that.
I'm happy. I'm not going to go home with broken bones today. You are not guaranteeing me.
No. I need to add that clause. It's in every, even in the constitution.
You are not even started, though.
That's
We have not even started. Some people online are already. They are saying he's not a comrade, though. Well, let's get started. Let me begin by asking a simple question, and the question is left to right. You saw Omoyele Sowore's outing as the candidate. Am I correct? Okay. How would you rate the performance of Omoyele Sowore? Were you impressed about it altogether?
Let me say all the candidates.
You are impressed about
yes,
what all of them do. Okay, now that there are two of you involved in this conversation now,
okay,
let's talk about the two that matter, that are relevant as far as this conversation is concerned.
Okay.
If you would rate Omoyele Sowore on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate him and his deputy, their outing, or the candidates?
Well, it would be difficult for me to rate him, but normally, you know Sowore, I'll give him 7. I'll give him 7 over 10.
7 over 10.
Yeah.
Okay, let me come to my right. Adeyeye, how would you rate Atiku's performance at the debate on a scale of 1 to 10?
Are we comparing with Sowore?
No. Just him. I mean, the way he spoke, the responses he gave to the questions, that border on everything. How would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
Once again, I'll manage to give him 3.
3.
Yeah. In fact,
Okay. Let me go back to Dari.
Yeah.
Dari, let us know. You now rate your own candidates. Rate your own.
I think that's the
no. It's deliberate.
Okay.
I will score you based on what you perceive about the other, and score you based on what you perceive about your own. On the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Atiku's outing?
Well, in all modesty, let me say 9 over 10.
This people, because people hear you.
9 over 10.
9 over 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you rate your own candidates.
I will also give him 9 over 10. Because okay, let me just leave it that way. When we go into the discussion,
you wanted to start it because
the discussion
when I'm not asking for the because.
Well, I would also do 9 over 10.
Okay, fine. All right. Now you rated Atiku 3
over 10.
Over 10.
Yes.
That simply means you don't pass him. You don't pass. It was even out of benevolence.
Yes.
It would have been what if without benevolence?
Maybe he didn't show up. Maybe he didn't show up. Then means 0. Yes.
Okay, fine. That means whether with benevolence or without benevolence is below average.
Very well.
All right.
Yes.
Why? Now let's go to the specifics. Highlight the point. Point 1, I will not be able to rate him because of this. Point 2, I will not be able to rate him because of this. Let's go there.
Okay. First of all, I want to make this very clear, and it's going to come maybe as a disclaimer before we go into the show that we are discussing issues.
Yes, it is the issue.
Yes. I want it to be very clear and not how anyone put on Agbada down to the program. And on every issue that were raised, for example, let me start with that of corruption. A question was posed at him about corruption and how his principal, I'm talking about Olusegun Obasanjo, how he told Nigerians, even in a book widely published, that Atiku Abubakar is and was a thief, and but now Obasanjo is coming to tell Nigerians that Atiku is no longer a thief. That so the question was posed to Atiku that would you, if you have a company and the master of an apprentice told you that this apprentice coming to your company was a thief.
Not even an apprentice.
This partner. Even partner.
Your former employer, you were an employee.
Okay.
Your former employer wrote
yes,
a reference saying that this is a very bad employee to work with.
All right. So and at the end of the day, so Atiku then went to say he was just trying to use an analogy that a referee can call for a penalty, and at the end of the day, maybe after looking through the AVR, I'm not a football person, I think there's this AVR machine.
Yes.
Then you can, so after looking at that, so then you say it is no more a penalty. So it was just every question posed at him, he was just using one particular analogy to cover it up. The other one at Obi was asked how he invested in, how he sent hawkers in Anambra away to a particular part of the state. I can't remember for now. And he said, no, why should I send my in-laws away? At the point, Kadaria she was pissed, and she was asking them, she said, we are here for serious discussion. She said it, this is something you can replay. That, man, we are here for serious discussion, and don't start making a joke. So it was just a joke, everything that we were discussed. But you see, the problem we have in this country is that our level of education has been so denigrated to the extent that you have people clapping for people who don't have anything upstairs. In this country, if you can speak well, if you can add one or two together, and you can make your expressions flowery in Nigeria, then you will get applause, even from people who are more knowledgeable than you. And that is the kind of education they are giving to us. Because even during his time, education was not given the correct attention that it should get. So from all of this, on all the issues that were asked, he was just beating about the bush. Beating about the bush. And those ones he answered, he said things that were not for people. I maybe when we go into those details, but I'm just telling about the rating. That issues were not.
I did not answer the question.
Beating about.
Okay,
the
fine.
bush.
Let me tell you why. Let me moderate that, for instance. If you say he didn't respond, did he not speak anything at all?
No,
or is it that he avoided the question altogether?
Yes, he did. Okay. He was just beating about the bush.
How was somebody asked? Excuse me. The question, and do you want to respond to that? The question was. The question, for instance, was that your former employer wrote a damaging report about you. Will you employ? Okay, let me ask you now that question. Will you employ that prospective employee, will you employ that person?
Well, going by...
I want to see whether you give the same answer of OB.
Is it yes or no should give the answer? No, yes, it should be a yes or no answer.
You have to go into the issue critically. Looking at what the former boss wrote about him,
okay,
in particular. You see, in politics, this is not about literature or about drama. You have to bring in some issues that can really clear off some things that normally, if you are not into the game, you wouldn't know. For someone who have written so much about, let me call it his assistant, so to speak, and coming around back to say this is this person, and I'm not taking him off of what I've said in the past, then you should link these two together.
Now, let me quickly add that somebody is trying to correct an impression there. Favor Wade says Obasanjo did not change what he said about Atiku. Yeah. He merely said he has forgiven him. Meaning
for
that
stealing from Nigerians.
It hasn't changed the fact
that... Did he steal Obasanjo's money? Was it Obasanjo's money that was stolen?
So well, he said he stole. I have not seen any report in Nigeria indicting that he stole.
You have not seen any report?
He has not been charged. I said in Nigeria.
Are you for real?
Yes. Yes.
So when the president is saying that...
And let me also come to this. You know, it was the first question Kaderia herself asked Atiku before the person from the audience asked that particular question of employer-employee was that the wife of Atiku was being investigated
in the U.S.
In the U.S. And then Atiku was...
Allegedly. It was alleged to have been investigated.
Okay, no, you don't allege to be investigated. You investigate for an alleged offense. You don't allege.
There is nothing to show for
any was investigated.
Yeah, there's nothing.
No. It's online. You can see.
Where?
Yes, it's online.
What's with the Congress reports we're seeing on?
Well, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. Well.
So what's stopping the prosecution?
Well, Atiku gave response that the wife, though, was said to have been investigated,
of course,
but was not in. You are saying, of course, the wife
was said to have been investigated,
but was not indicted.
Yes, or jailed for anything.
Okay, so why was Atiku avoiding the US for a very long time? Well, until they had to ram him as one of the aides to Saraki eventually the last time, hurriedly go and hurriedly return.
I'm disappointed at your opinion that a former vice president of the country will be listed as who
you are using an assumption now.
See,
right?
Yes. This should be.
So he forgot that he was former vice president all the while until Saraki wanted to go.
And you think anybody can travel without visa? Is Atiku in charge of visa?
Oh,
or what?
Are you saying diplomatic role does not also exclude?
I'm not a diplomat.
All right. See, we will be doing Nigerians disservice if we are not speaking to the issues the way they are in this program. And seriously, no matter how small any medium is, it has a long way to go. So coming online to tell Nigerians that you're not sure, you're not aware of a case against Atiku or his wife, or the inability of Atiku to even go to the US until there's a document that was even provided by Sahara reporters of how Atiku made a deal with a company in the US of $1.7 million just because he wants to get a visa to the US. It's online. He has not refuted it.
Well,
it will be a disservice to Nigeria. It's an abuse to humanity to come here and start lying about things like this.
A lobbyist was contracted.
A lobbyist?
Yes, and I'm surprised that you are tagging a lobbyist to travel agents now. So all because you want to get a visa, you will pay $1.something million.
$1.7 million.
Yeah, for visa.
Yes, for visa, yes. That was it. It's presently on Sarah report.
Not for visa. A contract was given to a lobbyist, and the said amount not for visa.
And the charge part of the job.
Then who is a lobbyist? We know so many people who go to get visas. They don't meet a lobbyist at all.
So that's what I'm saying.
Showore has traveled to so many countries in this world. He has never met a lobbyist in between he and getting a visa.
A lobbyist for this particular election. He got one. The campaign organization got another one. So this nothing.
Lobbyist to do what?
I think the current president got one before he got him too. So it's nothing.
Well,
Asaran was so why are you making
let's now go.
The ability of someone to go to the US or not. That's not the issue.
That is not what we are even here to discuss.
Okay.
Let us now go into what Sowore said about what he wants to, how much he wants to pay workers, what Atiku and Obi want to pay workers. Do you agree that it is okay to pay 100,000 naira to workers, or do you agree that it is not feasible?
No, I've been hearing him saying 100,000. He said minimum, that no worker deserves less than 100,000. Yes. Well, I want to believe he has some superb economists in his team, but I'll first ask, the little that we have seen of him, how much is he paying those who are working with him? Are they paying the minimum of 100,000?
Do you know how much he pays?
I don't know. Let's start from there.
No, you should go and find out.
I don't need.
No, maybe you should go and find out.
I'm asking you now.
No, I don't work as a reporter.
Okay, so I'm saying that this.
Do you have facts that he pays less?
I'm not saying he's paying less.
So, if you are
to start with, that's what I say.
Let him continue.
Okay.
So if
okay, let us assume he pays more than 100,000 naira to his workers as we speak right now.
Okay, then we'll bring it out to the larger society. Is it visible? Is it realistic? On which economy? What are the prospects of paying all this? What's our workforce? Yeah. So these are the things that we will look at. I can't come here and say he cannot or he will. I'm not having an issue with Sowore in the first place. To me, in this particular context, is out of the point.
Those are debates, and in a debate, it is yes or no. So on this 100K,
no,
you should have a position to see either it is possible.
Okay.
And then okay.
No, he has said that
He's not sure.
He agrees that 100,000 naira is okay as a minimum. He agrees with Sowore on that. He's only questioning how feasible is it to on what economy. That's what he's saying.
Okay.
Now, how much is Atiku proposing?
Well, he has not proposed anything in quotes. He has not proposed anything. So we are not coming into this election with promises. We have the will.
That means you are not coming prepared.
Not prepared.
That's just it.
See, the issue of preparation is, I think, is overcasted in such a way. So those who we are trying to chase out now have promised so much. So it's not about promising. It's about bringing the issues on and how we're going to tackle it.
In other words, I think he's not prepared as to how much he wants to pay, or maybe you don't know how much he wants.
Well, I don't know how much. He has his team, and they will put that at the appropriate.
Let us also come to the issue of education.
We've not left on 100,000. I have one or two things to say about it. I represent a movement, so I understand Sowore. I understand the movement from the beginning to the end. So I understand even the whole calculation. Because it was before we started this show, he joked that in fact he boasted that he's Atiku, that he's not even a supporter of Atiku. So I expected him to even know much about the economic plans of Atiku, but it's just rather unfortunate. So on 100,000 naira, we are very clear, and even when we had when Sowore was with Kadera asked the question that she did her own calculation to the tune of 7.1 or 7.4 trillion naira. So Sowore explained that no, it's just going to take us $1.2 billion, which is just, I think, half of 7.4 trillion. That means if you weed out the ghost workers who are in our workforce, our civil service is overbloated with people who are not working. People who just go to work 8 a.m. and some of them leave 11 a.m. after just signing, and even some don't even come to work. So just last year, 80,000 police officers were discovered to be ghost workers. So in this country, we even have ghost police officers. That is the reason why you don't have anybody in
there was a time it was added that we also had a ghost president.
Definitely. So who's getting paid? Who's getting paid? So take away all these ghost workers out of our civil service, and then you'll be able to pay 100,000 naira minimum wage. And we're not even saying minimum, we're even saying a living wage. That means anybody in this country should be able to live, go to work, come back, your take home pay should be able to take you home. And that is what we are proposing to take it back.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Yes,
but I didn't ask you. Let's go to economy. You know, Atiku is proposing to, as said, privatize or is it the word sell or privatize NNPC?
Which one are you using?
I heard he said that he wants his friends to benefit.
You have to be an independent umpire here, please.
I'm not.
Don't be biased.
I'm not biased.
Go ahead.
But are you aware he wants to sell NNPC?
Well,
or is that my biased statement?
He said that.
He said it.
He said it.
Okay.
See, let me
defend it.
I'm not defending.
Oh,
I'm trying to reaffirm.
You want to dispel it?
Not just.
Let's go.
You are trying to bring.
No, just go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, I'm okay. At least you are not saying we should get serious. Like someone who was saying we should get serious yesterday.
At the same time, we should be serious.
No, we don't need
serious matter.
I'm not on that.
There's nothing
I'm not on that.
After NNPC, let me rephrase the question. After NNPC, what will be left to sell?
Well, he's in best position to say.
He's in best position. Do you agree with him? You are supporting him.
Of course. With the experience, he was the head of the economic plan when he was the VP of this country. He did that for
He must have aided the selling off of NEPA, NITEL, and the rest.
And yesterday he said something that they did some mistake in part of their policy, which he is ready to amend. So let's make this.
Mention specifics.
I know the specifics. He does not want to mention the specifics.
Don't let us go.
I will mention the specifics when you come to my side.
He's trying to drop something which I don't want to slide on.
No, there's actually something. There's actually something.
I'm not here to argue something. We are not in contest with his party.
You are in contest with.
No, we are in contest with the old order. We are in contest with
I'm not here representing the old order.
Showres contesting.
Myself.
That's why you should be in the new order.
I'm a realist. And I have to tell you this. There's nothing you say now that I don't know. The issue is we have to look at the problems on ground and how to tackle it. We need to clear a mess. They were in support of this particular aberration. They brought them in, they reinforced them, chasing out Jonathan. Now they are trying to replace something.
What did they?
So the issue is it's so simple. Let's take out this government. In the next 20-25 years, they can come with their own robust plan and all that.
No, we are not postponing our freedom. Nigerians are not postponing their freedom.
The issue is this is not about freedom. We need to survive first before fighting for anything.
No, you can't
survive before liberation.
You cannot survive.
See, let me tell you something.
But is it possible to survive under the fangs of the same old people who brought the suffering in the first place?
The first thing you protect is your life.
Okay, is that why you're supporting?
The first thing you protect is your life. If you don't
have
life, you can't agitate for anything.
Is your life
in
danger if a young person comes to power, a new person?
See, let's be realistic. I keep on talking about reality.
Okay.
Sowore knows in himself that he can't win this election.
What does it take to win election? What does it take to win election?
The first thing, where are the structures?
What do you mean by structure?
I'm not talking
Physical
about
buildings?
No. I'm talking about political structures across.
Such as?
Can you tell me 10 chairmen, each one chairman in Lagos State? Can you tell me the zonal coordinator? What is the membership strength of their party? We are talking of an election, a critical election. We are chasing out some people.
Is it that you want to know? Is it that you want to know?
So are we discussing how to win election, or we are discussing programs?
See,
you are discussing all of them.
Okay. See, the issue is before you talk of programs, is when you get in, then you say,
can talk about. I agree with you.
So why are you building it?
That's why in this mess we are. That's why the president would not appoint ministers after 6 months.
Yes.
Well, you can't tell me that.
No, after winning election, you need some time to sit tight.
Honeymoon.
To assert yourself.
When the president is doing honeymoon.
But he is not in APC.
That's the same problem.
I'm not in APC.
Although they are brothers and sisters.
I'm not in APC. So let me tell you, once you have a political party,
okay,
there are mechanisms that goes along with politics. The issue of I understand you guys. You are coming from the background of activism. It is okay. We have been there before. But as time goes on, you will reduce your tempo and you get into the reality box.
Anything that chased you out of activism, I
the issue is this.
I'll forever be active. That's the meaning of activism.
Everybody is active. We are all full of life.
Not true. That's not
we
true.
We
have so many docile people.
So I am not here for that. What I'm trying to say, my candidate is ready for this election. We have over 120,000 polling booths in Nigeria. You want to tell me someone who cannot effectively? I'm putting it to Sowore and his team. They can't win one word, not even his word. Okay. I've said that severally. We are not. This is not a joke. This is not a.
And if he wins his word,
it's not possible.
No. What will you?
It's not possible.
I'm
putting it. This is a challenge.
Okay.
This is a world challenge, and maybe we need to have an hashtag to that.
Okay.
He's not going to win. He knows it. He's preparing himself. Fantastic. He's a good guy. He talks. We can bring in papers and talk about everything here.
He's talking his programs, and that is what we are discussing.
Of course.
The program of the person you are supporting.
Of course.
Now, if the program of the person you are supporting, are you confident that Atiku's program is enough to take Nigeria to the dreamland?
Of course.
And we have started analyzing
He did it
we
as
have
number
talked
two.
About NN, he did it as number two.
Was,
and
he
you
did
were
it
impressed.
where was Nigeria?
And
well, we've not gotten to the highest point.
Part of the
that we
darkness
need
they
to
brought with $16 billion.
Well, I think this particular government have not spent a dime.
No, they've spent 1.1 trillion. At least
So is it?
See, you'll be running into one crisis, and the crisis is
what?
that you want to excuse Atiku even from this current administration. Atiku was part of it until he needed to contest.
Part of this administration, part
Yes.
of the party,
Yes.
part of the ruling party. So once you are in a party,
Are you
you're
saying
part of
Atiku
the.
did not have stake in this government?
Well, I'm hearing
people
this
he
from-
submitted for nomination that we appointed.
I'm
because
hearing this from
Atiku backs them
from
up.
you. I'm hearing it from you.
You are not aware.
I'm not aware
You see, hold on.
that he was part of this government as who? As who?
I understand.
As one of the national, is Tinubu part of this government?
Of course.
As who?
As a national leader
Of what?
of APC.
Okay, what was Atiku's position when they were all campaigning together and moving from Obasanjo's out to other places? What was his position?
He was a
And even
national
in this
leader.
administration,
I will remind you that he was the one that gave the VP that we have now. So what stake
you
does
see,
Atiku?
you see, if Atiku,
The people that began to withdraw from Buhari towards the dying minutes to go and support Atiku.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Garba Shehu saying that they never were in spirit in the administration from the outset? That their mind and soul were with Atiku because it was through Atiku's influence they came
Of
into
course, he was formerly working with Atiku.
And you are saying that Atiku does not have stake in this administration.
So recommending someone to work with
And
the
backing him
ruling
until he is
party.
appointed.
Okay, recommending
Why is
someone
Atiku
now
running
is all
up and down
about
over
stake.
CJN?
We are talking about illegalities.
I've met so many young people.
Okay.
See, I've met so many young people in the last 3 years of activism and all of that when I was thrown into limelight, quote and unquote. And I understand so well the kind of education we have, and that's the reason why you will be excusing Atiku from an APC administration. In the US, where you have the Republican, you have other parties in the US also, but you have the two major parties, the Democrats and the Republican.
Yes.
Whenever you are defending that of the Republican, whenever you are defending Trump, a member of the Republican would say, our party, that's what they say. We are in this administration, and this is our position on foreign policy, this is our position on education and all of that. Okay. But I understand so well that, and this is what I tell these young people, and I'm not apologetic about it, that if Atiku had not stolen the money for proper education, these people would have been properly educated, and by now they will be speaking these things I'm saying. But some of us who are saying all of these things, it is not because we went to the University of Lagos or all these mainstream schools, because what we get is just normal schooling. Yeah, going back there. It's just normal schooling. We're not getting the proper education, and that's why you'll be excusing. They have the same thing. The ideology of the APC, which is capitalism and nationalism and pan-Nigeria, is also the ideology of the PDP, which is capitalism and nationalism, pan-Nigeria, which we know that there is nothing pan about even the Nigeria.
It's very easy for you to run commentaries by the sidelines when you're not playing on the field.
Yeah, even on the field.
So, as I've said, my main business is all about APC, not AAC. They are not in the top 10. Why will
that's not,
you can see me.
Who are those in the top 10? Who are those in the top 10? Let's list the top 10.
Just list any top 10 political party. Take off Yes.
That is beef now.
No,
that's
see,
beef.
That's
the issue is I understand my brother here. When you talk about the youths, the young people, who are the young people? Those people who run after crumbs as SA or even as governors. We have one of our so-called youngest governor in Nigeria here. You need to go
and
to
those
the
people
state.
supporting Atiku too.
It doesn't matter whether you are supporting Sowore or
young people supporting Atiku are also in that category.
I
you're
choose
talking
to support
about.
anyone.
You see, I find it
supporting.
very insulting, especially in this country where you have 65% of the population as young people, and yet young people are the ones begging for power. You don't beg for power when you are in the majority.
You
don't beg for power when you have
we have
strength.
moved from the age
you don't
of
beg
revolution.
for power. You snatch power.
We are now in the age of negotiation.
Oh my God.
You can't revolt anything. You see, I love your zeal. It's okay.
It is the zeal of Nigeria.
when you read Kamas, Fidel Castro, all of these revolutionaries, it is normal. But coming down to your society, let's be realistic.
Their own society was even more backward than Nigeria.
See, let me tell you
Russia was
something.
very backward.
You cannot fight these people with placards. You cannot make noise.
So you know there are things that we need to fight them. Are you agreeing that we need to fight them?
Of course. At the point the young ones need to rise.
If you agree that we need to fight
it's all about the process.
Now let's take questions from online. There are 376 people watching on YouTube. I don't know how many are watching on Facebook. I'm not able to check that immediately. But there's one question for Atiku. The person is Owen E is asking, Peter Obi allowed an Italian company to invest in Anambra State when he was governor, and also he owned 15% stake of the company, which he also claims was invested for the future
of the state.
Okay,
what's the problem with that?
Now he didn't ask the question, but I guess where he's going is that is it allowed for Peter Obi to use state money to buy shares
in the name of the
state, and then later come back to claim that it was for the state because it was busted?
No. He said yesterday that you can go and check that the shares was purchased in the name of the state. And what else do you want? And as the governor of the state decided to use that as the bond for the state. So what else?
No, Kadara said next that she has a document with her.
Okay.
That states that as part of the shareholder, Peter Obi's name is there, and not the state.
And he said the family. He said Peter Obi. And he said his family.
And he said his family bought. So are you telling me the family bought on behalf of the state?
Okay. Because he's the governor, he has no right.
He
has no right
to buy $30 million
in the name of the state, not the family.
$30 million.
Can you show me documents?
Kadira said she has the document.
Why?
That she has the document.
Maybe you need to show.
All of these things we can get it even if you check the asset management company of Nigeria.
Maybe our reporters can help us with that.
$30 million shares in his name. So I don't know when.
In whose name?
In his name, Peter Obi.
No.
And at the end of the day, he was now telling us
the state's government, Anambra State.
And he was not telling us that they've now made. No, he himself said it, and he was trying to encourage such investments by saying $30 million was put into the company, and now it has yielded to $100 million.
Okay. In whose name?
Whose business? In his name.
In his name?
Yes, in Peter
I'm hearing this from you. You are not Peter Obi.
Kadira said it. I have a document that shows that it's in your name. But he was now denied to say it's Anambra. I don't know when Peter Obi and Anambra was now became the same thing.
Interchangeable names.
So Peter Obi is now Anambra. No.
Well, let's leave that particular stage now, move on to the next. We were talking about NNPC the other time.
Okay.
You didn't conclude that, so whether you agree NNPC should be sold.
I am not in the position to defend that particular.
You are supporting somebody, you should be able to agree or disagree with his position.
I am not in the position to defend that particular.
But you are in a position to agree with it.
Of course.
Okay, agree with it.
If it is in the best interest of the nation, go ahead.
You should know what is good for you by now.
Well, I don't need to deceive myself. These are people who have involved themselves in international politics.
Okay, Atiku apart now. Atiku apart. do you think NNPC should be sold as a citizen?
I think with these scandals that we've been hearing, frauds and all of this, I think if it is the best interest, I will repeat that, of this country, let it go. Yes. At least as the Nitel was off and we have these telecommunication companies now that are private owned, right? So
okay.
So let's have that. Let's have that.
Okay, let me answer. It goes down to education. Okay, I know that.
Sorry, excuse me. Let me. I wanted you to respond, but I quickly need to, so that we don't let it pass.
Okay.
You cited Nitel.
Yes.
That they deregulated the sector and allowed private individuals come in.
Yes.
All right. They sold off the properties, even though questionably the amount which they sold it to and the persons they were said to have given license to their cronies.
But that
is not. I know you are not. That's why I'm not taking you on that. That's why I'm not taking you on that. But it is cherry picking to single out Nitel and come and tell us.
You brought up NNPC.
Excuse me. And come and I'm coming. You mentioned only one. There were several things privatized.
And then decided to pick that.
Yes, you decided to pick that because you feel, you can now call and use data. It is global. It's not unique to Nigeria. But I want to talk about the one that after you finish spending, your administration then finished spending Atiku and his boss, former employer.
You need to.
By the time they finish spending $16 billion,
I quickly respond to the issue.
And there was no electricity. They decided.
Yes, and now I want to address Nigerians, and not even so that because I've seen so many comments also about this NNPC sale and how people are applauding it in a way, and that's why I'm saying it all boils down to the proper education. Now, there is no how you take, in fact, go to the Constitution, chapter 2 of this Constitution, starting from section 13.
Well, I'm not a lawyer.
It shows, neither am I. I'm a builder by profession. But an activist by calling.
Of course,
you
need to read along your
all right.
lane. Of course, all right. You need to defend so many things.
So the Constitution itself is against selling off properties. The Constitution itself, that a president will swear to, that I will defend this Constitution, is against. So it is unlawful to even constitute a committee that they call National Council on Privatization, which Atiku Abubakar headed when he was vice president, NCP. National Council on Privatization. That it is madness to sell a public enterprise and sell it to private people below market price. What did the Constitution say? The Constitution says that the economic resources of the nation must not be concentrated, must not be distributed in a manner that it will be concentrated in the hands of the few. What does that say? That major sectors like the communication sector, the oil and gas sector should not be in the hands of the few. See, Sowore said something. He said the problem in Nigeria is not wealth generation, it is wealth distribution. And that is what Atiku Abubakar, Buhari and their likes are doing.
Well, somebody wants to know.
Aluminium company. He sold aluminium company for $30 million. Something that is supposed to be sold, even if you want to sell.
The issue of wealth distribution has always been the issue of society from the onset.
All right, somebody is asking Atiku. Where's the question? I think it's skipped. Other comments came and covered it. But the question the person was asking is Peter Obi. He was sorry. Let me find. I want to quote exactly the way he quoted the question. Okay. He said. He was asking about education. Anyways, I skip. If I find out again, I'll read it again. But another person is asking whether you agree that the statement by Atiku that he will benefit his friends when he will enrich his friends.
He did not say that.
There's a video.
The issue is it. We like picking up with words. When you know this is
those are the things he wants to do.
I know I'm coming to Sowore's platform, so I will be.
This is objective media.
Of course, 90% of your followers are AAC. You see them hailing Sowore, and I'm not bothered about that. They are hailing their guy.
We are your own people.
They are ready. They are ready for revolutionary change.
All right, now somebody, another Royal Dawn is asking a question. I'm sure you can also see so that it doesn't look like I'm the one making it up.
No,
Royal Dawn is asking Royal Don is asked, Shegun, ask him how Atiku sell our NEPA because of his generator business.
Well, there are some questions I won't respond. See, we are bringing in sentiment.
See, you are not decided voter. Left to meet you now from your.
My
position of view is that you are undecided voter, and I know after this show you are going to vote for Sowore. So let us just go back to issues of privatization and how privatization will continue to kill the economy.
Let me go. See, there's no way I will give you some leeway to explain most of your programs. You are not a factor in this election.
Yeah.
No.
So please, you are not. See, let's be.
You only continue to.
Okay.
I'm not saying
is that the reason you are following Atiku?
Atiku himself cannot say
Because you believe Atiku has.
Do you know
structure?
Not that. You know, I told you the first
Mr.
thing.
It's not about
will never
program.
say what you just said now about Sowore.
See, the issue
That
is
Sowore is not a
this.
threat. That's what you're saying.
It's not a threat.
Atiku will not say this, and I challenge Atiku to come out and say Sowore is not a threat in this election.
Atiku is too busy.
We are investigative reporters, and we know what's happening to them right now.
See,
Sowore's emergence into this race
not a
has
threat.
caused so many things.
Sowore is not a threat.
No, you keep this. You just continue.
Your candidate will not have to 50,000 votes in
I don't
Nigeria.
just
So
want
what is
them to
it?
continue to be
You
on
wanted
that
to say something about education
illusion.
the other time.
Okay.
Yes,
Let
you
him
kept on
clarify.
mentioning education.
Yes.
Well, to me, there's nothing wrong with our education. I think what is wrong with us as a society is our socialization process.
Okay.
And I will pin it down to the home. Look at the way we are brought up, our parents. Look at the mentality. Everybody has the mentality. When you get there, you go and steal. So when you are talking about youth, you will be surprised. I have some details about your party, and I was surprised that some things that are happening in the mainstream party, the mainstream political parties, is happening in your party. It is normal.
State them.
I don't need to. I'm not here for
He's here
that.
to respond to you.
I don't need that.
I will allow this crossfire.
I'm not here for
Let me
that.
state them. No, you want to demarcate AAC.
I'm not trying to.
No, that's what you want to do with this.
In the first place, this is not a brand to demarket. Yes, it's not a brand.
No. You keep do not continue under this illusion.
Illusion.
Yes,
I know.
it's an illusion.
See, the issue
You
is.
better wake up.
The issue is this. I think I have no doubts in my mind. And I've said it. AAC is not a factor in this election. It's between
That's not what we are talking
PDP.
about. Just talk about that education.
You said it more than 5 times here today.
Just talk about that education. I'm interested.
About
What I want to know.
Yes.
Okay, excuse me. When Atiku and Obasanjo were in power,
Okay.
they did one thing most especially. They were building private universities that is expensive.
They were building.
Yes, they were. Obasanjo had the bells.
Licenses.
Okay.
He had license,
Okay.
and it's not cheap to have the bells.
Okay.
To be the owner, not even a student.
Well, I don't know.
It's
I'm
a
just
private
hearing from
university.
you.
It's not public
I
university.
don't know. He's the owner of Bells.
Who is the owner of bells?
I don't know. You're just telling me that Obasanjo is the owner.
Who is the
Go
owner?
ahead, go
You
ahead.
don't know the owner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It came from heaven. Okay.
I don't know the owner.
Atiku also has a
Yeah,
private university.
I'm
You are aware of that
knows-
one?
Yeah, of course.
That one did not fall from heaven.
Of course, I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm aware of that.
So was it after he left office or while he was in office?
Well, Shegun, let me state this clearly. That's
No,
what the issues.
I have not asked the question. The question I actually want to ask there
Okay.
is, you are talking about education.
Yes. No.
Do you think Atiku will be sincere to fund public education while they were busy when we saw them before?
Okay.
Honing private universities against public institutions they swore oath to protect.
Okay. If that should be the case, let's look at pastors who has about 2-3 universities. What has that got to someone who is the president? If you have your money, you can go into the educational business. It has nothing to do with the president. If you are the president, Atiku as the president of Nigeria is different from Atiku, the owner of AU.
I've heard what you want to say about that.
So what's the point?
I have heard what you want to say about that.
You don't need to be biased.
There's no bias
So
here.
please.
I'm only asking you and you have responded.
Go ahead.
Let us
Do
move
not bring
on to the next.
sentiment to it.
Oh, there's no sentiment
Okay,
here.
go ahead.
That's why I wanted you to fire him the other time, talking about what they did in their own party too. That we
You
failed.
don't need to.
I'm not biased.
You don't need to.
See, this is a live show.
It's not.
I don't have a problem.
We have more than
So let me also say this.
Of course, you can be ready.
Let's leave education.
Everybody's ready.
Let us leave education.
Okay.
You have responded, and people are there to judge your answer.
Yeah.
Let us now move to power.
Okay.
Does Atiku have a hand in the importation of mechanical generators?
Well, let me say this. We are live program.
Yes.
I've been hearing Mekano. I don't know the owners of Mekano. And what has a businessman, if indeed is the owner of Mekano, what has that got to do with having power?
What it has to do? What it has to do with having power?
Let me finish. I own a generator business, and now I'm the president. For example, I'm giving us an example. Now I'm bringing investors to give us power and all that. Can't I have my companies taking over that and closing up my generator business? It has nothing to do with it. It's all about the willpower.
As we drive to a close on this show, I want to quickly ask a few questions. Just the same way we started, asking you to rate and asking you. So I'm going to use the same format now.
Okay.
I'm going to go to you now, Dari.
Okay.
Or maybe I should start from here. Why are you supporting Sowore?
Yes, I'm supporting Sowore, and most especially, let me say, the movement and the party, because it's on clear ideology, clear programs. We know what we are doing, and in fact, it is what Nigerians need at this time. And that is the reason why we are not paying. We did not pay. Do you know that we did not spray dollars to become the candidate of? Sowore did not spray dollars to become the candidate of the AAC.
Was there any primaries?
No.
You call that a primaries?
Yeah, definitely.
See, don't let us dive into
Burundi change did not visit.
Do not let us dive into normal party politics.
No. I need to make that
the issue is this. You call that a primary?
Why not?
You call that where you have all the states that each ESCO's initiative were handpicked. You call that a primaries? Your party is not ready. That's just it. In the next 25 years, we can discuss.
No. You are not right. And let me.
I'm not right.
Yes, you're not right on that.
I'm not right.
And let me tell you this. Nigerians are ready for this revolutionary change, and that is why you can even see our.
I will agree with you. You said something, and I will agree with you. It's a movement, fantastic.
You would see
now
what's
the
going on.
position we are in this country now. We are not in need of any platform that will go the way of placards. We've done that. Ganifa did that. The Wale Soyinka did that up to this age. We don't need that.
If the Wale Soyinka did not stand up, we will not be having this discussion.
We don't need that.
The discussion we are having now.
By that, my own father fought for the unity of this country. He fought in the civil war.
If the Soyinkas did not fight the military, if the Sowores did not fight the military, you will not be seated here to even discuss.
And the Sowore can reinforce the Buhari into power because he doesn't want Jonathan. He will wait for 20 years. I'm not in contest with this.
But this is
the issue is this. Your party is a movement.
No.
This is not a political
party. And it's the movement of oppressed Nigerians.
Of course. You can
more
continue
than
protesting.
500
We need to have the point.
Nigeria.
We love you.
Those who are stealing from Nigeria,
we
and
love
I
you
say it everywhere, they are not up to 1,000.
We need people to protest.
But those
we need people to
who are extremely poor in Nigeria,
no
they are in
problem.
our movement, and there are 5 million of them.
Okay, let's do this.
Yes. They are in our movement and they are sympathetic to the movement.
Sorry,
I want to explain something about how you were talking about education business. Education to you and to Atiku is business. Okay. But education to us is a service.
Okay.
And that is the difference between a capitalist and someone who is coming with a socialist reform. Education, power, these are services to people. You don't commodify it. When you make education a business, even the students and the lecturers, they are commodities. And you want to sell them. And that is what you are doing. That is why Atiku is making his university 795,000. At American University of Nigeria,
we have about 4 or 5 universities
is the school
that have
and you're telling me that person is
more expensive
public education. It is
you cannot
eat your cake and have
Atiku
it.
as the owner of that school
yes.
is different from Atiku.
That's not true.
President.
That's not true.
See, let me tell you something.
That's not true.
You are very good. You are very good at what you are doing. You're an activist. We need you people, at least to keep
to
keep the government into check. We need people on the street. We need people to agitate.
No, that's for how long? We are more knowledgeable See, we are more knowledgeable, we are more intellectual than your Buhari and your Atiku combined.
Well, I'm not.
Sowore will take on both of them. Now, why did your Atiku run away? Why
From what?
From that, okay, even those ones here on debate. When there's a TVC debate, and I hope it does not run away, February 10, and I'm saying this to Nigerians, February 10 on TVC. Okay. If Atiku does not make that debate, then no Nigerian should vote for him. Should. Yes, definitely should not vote for him. Because we've gotten to that point in Nigeria where intellectual discussion should be the reason why people should vote. And we are getting to that point. And it is happening already. Because before in this country, people don't talk about debates. But now people are taking debates and they're taking town hall meetings, they're taking those. The
Merua in Kano State. Kano State have over 5 million votes. They don't know. Over 5 million votes. Yeah. So you can add that. An average Merua does not know Sowore.
That's not true.
In fact, your party logo is just like you having a totem in paracetamol or something like that. Your party is not. I'm not.
Just like your umbrella, the umbrella that is housing both the thief and the papa deceived Peking party.
It is normal. It is normal for you. It is normal for you to turn black.
If that's what you want, but I won't go that late.
The issue is this. I understand your perspective. I love your ideas. But in reality, you are joking.
No, that's not true.
Why will I engage you?
You're winning. Yes.
It is easy to build castles in the air.
No, we are not. No, that's not easy. To build castles in the air.
It's very easy.
How do you build castles in the air?
You don't
understand the dramatic expression.
No.
It is dramatic.
What I'm telling you, what I'm telling you,
I asked you why you're supporting Sowore.
Yes.
And you've been able to at least in summary say that because it's a movement and ideology that brings together all oppressed Nigerians, and that is why you believe, because you are also an oppressed Nigerian.
Definitely.
And you want to join the trend of...
He's oppressed. He's not in the party. These are people... we know those who are in the party. You are not in the party. Do you know? You are not in PDP. You know those who are in APC. If Ambode could be chased out this way, Ambode is not in APC.
Let him answer. Are you a member of PDP?
I won't answer that.
No, why are we having this discussion?
I won't answer that.
Ambode already, his impeachment process is already 70%. That's to tell you that even Ambode at this point is not in APC. We know those who are holding these parties. We are talking about democratic institutions here. A political party is not just a vehicle to get to any office. It is a vehicle for societal. If you are in a party and you don't understand the ideology, you don't know what you are. Political party. We know those
parties. It's a vehicle for societal change.
Definitely.
It is easy and certain that some people will not get into power. They will make those changes, right?
Very possible.
Thank you so much.
Very possible.
Sowore can be doing that on the sideline.
No, that's not true. We are getting there and we are going to win this election.
It's so easy. You can do that in your dreams.
Yes, the future is for the dreamer. Let me tell you this. The future is for people who dream like us. And let me tell you that the future is now. Okay. Do you know that Obama was the dream of Martin Luther King? He was the dream of Martin Luther King. Okay. And that is what's going to happen in 2019.
And how many years?
It's going to happen in 2019.
And how many years?
Because this is it. The lackeys who are in government today were the product of the kind of complacency that rigged how the Sowores of this world after fighting the military.
You need to ask me.
They were complacent.
You need to ask me that same question.
Some of them were under the illusion.
Your followers need to listen to the main content.
I asked you why you're supporting Sowore, and in summary you have said it. Yeah. I need to also put the same question to him. Yeah. Why are you supporting Atiku, especially as a young man?
See, why are you putting
No.
See, excuse me. Why are you putting a conditional
clause
to
let me explain that condition.
Why
let me explain that. I will explain the condition.
You didn't ask him.
You
didn't bring the age factor.
No, he mentioned it earlier in the statement. That's why I didn't need to repeat it. The new as a new
order. And you are looking at the old order.
No, he called you, both you and the APC, old order. Meaning that he is following the new order.
It's not even in the party.
Are you supposed to?
It's not in the party. We know those who are in the party. We know our contenders in the party. It is not you.
So why are you supporting
like me? Why are you supporting the Take It Back movement?
Why are you supporting Atiku?
Should be the Take It Back movement.
I understand your pains. I know you are in pains.
Yes, 85 million of me are living in extreme poverty.
It's not easy to be an activist. Now you are involved in partisan politics.
We have always been partisan.
You've always been partisan?
Yes.
Very good. So now you will learn this.
Start symposium now.
Is it
start
hard
explaining
lesson?
partisan.
I'm not explaining anything.
No, if I start explaining partisanship now, we'll start another symposium. But let me hear why you're supporting Atiku, even though
very
you're
well. At this particular point of our nation, we are in need of leaders who can really set our economy back, not people with paper policy. Set it back on track. Let me put it that way. Yeah.
To be clear, we know that's where you are going to.
Of course, you should know.
Set it back, but we are taking it back from you.
Well, you know what your scores are. I don't need to.
We know.
You know why?
When they say they want to make Nigeria work again, I asked them, did it work before?
The issue is this.
Did Nigeria work before that Atiku and
back to your question. We have from who?
Or else it has been taken away
for
from
those who decide not to go into history.
They don't teach history anymore in our secondary schools. Or else by now we should not even be having a discussion about Atiku and Buhari.
Okay, good.
By now
I will agree with you.
Atiku was a thief and will continue to be a thief.
Well, I don't know that. You can't substantiate.
By now, people should know that Buhari was a dictator who truncated a democratic era. Okay. So by now, we should not be discussing these people. We should be
in 2015.
That it would never be for anyone of them. Of course, it is normal. Our history does not teach us about good people. Okay. We don't learn about good people. We don't
what's the definition of good people?
Yes, people like Sowore who fought. Who fought the hell out of these people while they were in government, the military. Till the extent that he was injected with an unknown substance when he was student union president of the University of Lagos. This is someone who has put his life on the line. But history will not teach people that. What our history teach you about, and that's why I used to say that even if I had to say your candidate is popular, I tell people NEPA also is a day-old baby in Nigeria. Lose NEPA for bad reasons. NEPA is popular for bad reasons because there's no lights. That's why you know NEPA. But average in this so we need to start this particular case, and I'll say this again. AAC, we are in contention with APC. So I think you've been saying here today. Of course, that is a fact. That's the problem. I'm debating programs with you, and I'm telling you that. And you know you can't go anywhere with your programs. Why would I get programs that you cannot? You see, we have the biggest coalition today, and it is the coalition of people who are living in extreme poverty, who are 85 million. Okay. I'm talking about 22 million Nigerian students who are at home now because of the bad policies that came right from your own time and was transferred to Buhari also, which is also continuing with. They are at home now. They cannot go to school. Lecturers also cannot go to school. 22 million of them. I'm talking about another 42 million of young people who do not have jobs, young people who do not have a country they can call their own, young people who are traveling through the Mediterranean Sea to live, a water country to live, young people who don't have jobs, young people who don't have health care, young people who cannot do their assignments just because there's no light. These are the people who have life. Well, I congratulate you in advance, at least for winning in your dreams. So, on the 17th or 18th, we will be back. I think we should be back after the election, right? Yes. If the elections are free and fair, that's even if there's going to be an election. There's so many things that are happening in the country. But boycotting this election? No, nobody's saying that boycotting. I'm saying that's if there's going to be an election. Okay. The whole things are happening in this country, but that's another thing. You have something that we don't know? No, several things are happening. Except you're not current with what's happening. The CJN issue. Okay. So many letters have been written. Okay, we are running out of resources right now. We need to close this to some extent. I want to say that all of you that are watching, I hope you enjoyed this robust conversation. It's been a nice and fantastic. You have been biased. Let me put that. Well, the reality is, if I want to be biased, you will not even sit throughout this conversation. I don't want to be biased with your friends. That's why I'm allowing you to cross your conversations. But at any rate, it's been a very good conversation. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. One last question somebody is asking there is whether you are paid as non-member in supporting Atiku. Well, I'm not paid. Even the people who online are biased. biased. They are biased. They've not asked me any questions.
No, people ask me to ask you a question, but they don't say exactly what question should I. They are just saying I should stop asking him and I should start asking you.
The issue is, I own this particular segment. He is not a factor in this election. So why is he talking? What programs? To who?
I don't want to go down in
No, if you have
better at that.
No, if you want to say you own this section that is about you, it's unfortunate, therefore, that most of the comments here, none of them.
Of course, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in
people. You are not interested in
If you like, you can blackmail me. I know you are going there. You are going there.
That's what.
It's your way.
It's your way. See, in as much as we are making this.
It's a way.
If you are saying you are not interested, and that's this.
When you just say they are biased. When you say they are biased.
Bias is not a bad word.
Okay.
Yes, it's not a bad word.
Okay.
It's just
it could be positive.
Yes, definitely.
And
that's a neutral charge.
Of course.
But now this is it. But these traits of politicians and the way they talk down on Nigerians has already been passed to you. And that is why you are talking to Nigerians, people who want to vote in this election, and you are telling them that their decision, their opinion do not matter. That's what you're saying. You're saying
you're trying to push that to me.
No. You said their opinions do not matter in this discussion.
In regards to those comments, I'm reading some.
Their opinions do not matter? Yes or no?
Well, on that particular context, no.
We know.
Let me put this before
we know the result already. We know the result of the election already.
So I will let me encourage him a bit. He has been a fantastic guy. Keep up with your job. Keep up with your job. We need more of you on the streets. We need to get at least. Let this government. Yes, we need more. I've retired from.
We need one of us on the street.
I've retired from.
Okay, let me ask this question.
I've been very vibrant. I think
you said you need them on the street.
Yeah,
why you will be where?
I think I did that a while back. So I think let's
you meet with Atiku in Asoro. Let's be on the streets.
We need
after the election. Where will you be? I'll bring you back after the election. All right, thank you so much. It's a wrap now. Thank you, everybody. It's been a very fantastic time. We want to appreciate all of you for staying tuned on the show. If you're the first time as from different parts of the world, please don't hesitate to subscribe so that you can get the notification bell so that you can get once we come on the show. Please hook the HDMI cable port is checking. So please use the notification button so you can get notified each time we come on the show. That is some credit alert to get every time you start the show. A lot. Right. Okay, so it's been a very fantastic time, everybody. I'll see you again, perhaps at night when I'll be doing my own show with you people. So thank you so much, Femi Abiyayi, AAC man. Take it back.
Yes, we have so many of us.
Take it back.
Action.
Thank you. You don't back.
There's no power. The power has never been given to the people. But we are the ones who give power to the people.
Power since. So taking it back, I don't know what you're taking back.
Taking back power. Taking back resources.
From who? Taking the country back.
Taking it back. Totally, yes.
From the old.
People will sell we just wake up in the morning and find Nigeria on Jumia.
It's defining what you want to know.
See, if you are not careful,
you don't get it.
People will sell Nigeria on Jumia.
No. Are you? I don't know why.
You will tell me that now.
You seem not to understand what he's explaining.
Taking it back, you are trying to, even when you have not mentioned anything.
Take it back.
Action.
Okay, I don't know what chance to give you to greet you as we close. That's why
you can keep your slogan.
Non-member.
We'll meet on the 16th.
The election has already decided, yes, because you've told Nigerians that their opinions do not matter.
Well, since you are